Hi Nana. We have learnt about the difference between electrical conductors and electrolyte. Now we will learn about the theory of electrolytic dissociation in this lesson, in this video. Theory of electrolytic dissociation. It is also called as mechanism of electrolysis. So what happens during electrolysis? So those things we will learn in it. So this theory, it is commonly called as ionic theory, and this theory is put forward by Avant Arrhenius in 1887. See, according to this theory, an electrolyte is a substance which it will break down into ions in its aqueous solution. So that means, when an electrolyte is kept in aqueous solution, it will break down into ions. If a substance breaks down into its ions in aqueous solution, then that substance is said to be electrolyte. And such electrolyte will conduct electricity. Okay, this electrolyte will conduct electricity when electric current is passed through it. Okay, such substance is said to be an electrolyte. See, why it is conducting electricity? Electrolyte is conducting electricity because ions are formed. So the movement of ions takes place in the electrolyte. There always the ions will move. So movement of ions is responsible for the flow of electricity through the electrolyte. So why electrolyte is able to flow electricity through it? Because of the presence of because of the movement of ions in it. Okay, see, if the number of ions are large in number, then the conductivity of the solution will be large. Okay, if the number of ions are less in number, then that electrolyte will conduct less amount of electricity. That means conductivity of the solution depends on the number of ions. Number of ions means concentration of ions. If concentration of ions is more, then it will conduct. That means if number of ions are more, then that electrolyte is a good electrolyte, good conductor of electricity. Right. Next, see the extent to which electrolyte dissociate into ions. All electrolytes do not dissociate completely. Some electrolytes may dissociate into ions very less. So here, the extent to which electrolyte dissociates into ions, it is called as a degree of dissociation. If degree of dissociation is more, then that electrolyte is a good conductor of electricity. If degree of dissociation is less, then that electrolyte is poor conductor of electricity. See what happens in this process, in this electrolyte. In this electrolyte, the oppositely charged ions which are formed, oppositely charged ions are formed in the electrolyte actually. So those ions, they reunite. Those ions which are formed, again they combine with each other. They reunite continuously. So formation of ions takes place and reunite of the ions takes place. So these things, formation of ions and the reunion of ions takes place continuously. So the oppositely charged ions which are formed, they reunite continuously to form neutral molecule again. So neutral molecules are broken down into ions, and again those ions will combine, they reunite to form neutral molecule. So this process will occur continuously. As a result of this one, what happens? Equilibrium is set up between dissociating ions and neutral molecules. Okay, so that means dissociating ion will convert into neutral molecule will dissociate into ions, and those ions reunite to form neutral molecule. again that neutral molecule will dissociate into ions, and again those ions will reunite to form neutral molecule. So that means equilibrium takes place. So forward means formation of ions, backward means reunion of ions to form neutral molecules. So equilibrium takes place between the for example, take sodium chloride. So sodium chloride in water, what happens? In aqueous solutions, sodium chloride will break down into Na plus ions plus Cl minus ions. Again these Na plus ion and Cl minus ion will reunite to form neutral NaCl molecule. So this one will convert into these ions, and these ions again they reunite to form a neutral molecule. So here forward and backward they go with equal speed. Okay, after a certain time forward formation of ions and a reunion of ions will be with equal speed. Hence at that stage that state is said to be equilibrium state. So that means equilibrium state is set up, it is established between these two, between the neutral molecule and dissociating ions. So equilibrium state is established, right? And one more thing, so an electrolyte is electrically neutral. An electrolyte is electrically neutral. Why? Because the total number of positive charges in that substance is equal to total number of negative charges. When the number of positive charges is equal to the number of negative charges, then such substance is said to be electrically neutral. Here electrolytes are electrically neutral substances. Okay. Now we will learn about the characteristics of electrolytes. How how it behaves. The characteristics of electrolyte we will learn now. So characteristics of electrolytes. See how electrolyte will behave and how its properties are. See, when electricity is passed through electrolyte, what happens? So the actually electrolytes contains cations and anions. So when electricity is passed through it, the cations will migrate towards cathode. Cations, because cathode is negative charge, hence cations will migrate towards cathode, because cation is positive charge and cathode is negative charge. So always positive charge will migrate or else will move towards a negative charge electrode. So what are cations? Cations are nothing but they are either metal ions or hydrogen ion. So if any metal ion or hydrogen ion are present in the electrolyte, so whenever the electricity is passed, then these ions they will migrate towards cathode. In the same way, the anions which are nothing but non-metal ions. So anions will migrate towards anode, because anions are negative charged particles, whereas anode is a positive charged electrode. Okay, negative charged particles will always move towards a positive charged electrode. So these things happen whenever electricity is passed through the electrolyte. And what happens? These ions, for example, cation will move towards cathode. After moving, what happens? So cation will accept electrons from cathode, because cathode is it is in rich of electrons. In the same way, anion will donate electrons to anode, because anode is positively charged electrode. So anion is negatively charged ion. So what happens? This anion will lose its electron to anode. The interesting thing is the number of electrons given by cathode is exactly equal to the number of electrons taken by anode. The number of electrons accepted by anode will be equal to the number of electrons donated by cathode. So that is important. During the process of electrolysis, what happens? The number of electrons accepted by anode will be exactly equal to number of electrons donated by cathode. Next, see, there is a term known as preferential discharge. So preferential discharge of ions. So the preferential discharge of ions depends on what? What is preferential discharge? So if there are more than one cation or if there are more than one anions, then the term preferential discharge it is applicable. See, for example, when both copper plus 2 ion and zinc plus 2 ions are present, so these two are cations. Okay, if more than one cation is present, or else if more than one anion is present, then this term is applicable. So preferential discharge of ions takes place. Okay, so that means discharge of ion. What is the meaning of discharge of ion? The ion will lose its charge at electrode. If it is a cation, for example, if it is a cation, what happens? So it will move towards a cathode. This cation will move towards cathode. So cathode is negative electrode, negative charged electrode. So after moving this cation towards a cathode, this is cathode. So what happens? This cation will take electrons from cathode. Cation, okay, will take electrons from cathode and convert into neutral atom. So that means this cation is losing its charge and becoming neutral atom. So that process is said to be discharge. Okay, so the discharge of ion takes place at electrodes. So preferential discharge means, for example, if there are two cations, copper ion and zinc ion, then these two ions are attracted by the cathode because cathode is negative charge and these are positive charged ions. So these two ions will move towards a cathode, but only one ion will undergo discharge. Both ions do not undergo discharge. Only one ion will undergo discharge and other ions remain as ion only. That means out of these two there is competition. So which one will be preferentially will undergo discharge or else will convert into neutral atom? So that is known as preferential discharge. Okay. So here, which one out of these two, which one will undergo discharge and which one will remain as ion only? So that can be known only by two things. So out of these two, which one will undergo discharge? So here it depends upon, so the preferential discharge of ions depends upon what? Its position. Means these two, for example, these two, their position in the electrochemical series. Its position in the electrochemical series. Okay, so there is a electrochemical series already given by the scientist. So in that series, zinc is somewhere here, Zn plus 2, and afterwards iron will come, and afterwards tin will come. So like that, so somewhere hydrogen, and here somewhere copper will come. So here, if you see, so there are so many ions, but here, if you see, so this is called as electrochemical series of ions. So here only I wrote only very little portion of the electrochemical series. So here if you see zinc is here and copper is here. The cation which is present at the bottom, so this is present at the above the copper. Zinc ion is present above the copper and copper is present below the zinc. Okay, so that means depending upon the position of the ion in the electrochemical series, the preferential discharge of ions will take place. See, when ion, the ion which is placed at the bottom, will be preferentially discharged when compared to the ion which is placed at the top. For example, if you take copper and zinc, so copper is placed at the bottom. So that means copper will undergo discharge, okay, readily when compared to zinc. So that means here, so in this case, if these two if these two ions are present in the solution, what happens? So suppose if zinc undergo discharge, so it should become zinc atom. It should become zinc atom. That zinc ion should become neutral zinc atom. So which one will takes place? Which reaction takes place at this cathode? So that is decided by the position of these two ions in the electrochemical series. Okay, the preferential discharge of the ions, it depends upon what? The position of those ions in the electrochemical series. Okay, the ion which is placed at the bottom will be preferentially discharged when compared to the ion which is placed at the top. So out of zinc and copper, so copper, as it is placed at the bottom of the electrochemical series, when at the bottom of the zinc ion, hence copper will undergo preferential discharge. So that means, so this one will takes place and this one does not takes place. So zinc ions, they remain in the solution only, but copper ions will convert into copper metal. And after conversion of copper ion into copper metal, so that copper is deposited on the electrode, or else the copper it may be settled at the bottom of the electrode also. So here the preferential discharge of ion. Okay, so I think you understood that the preferential discharge of ion depends on its position in electrochemical series. So this is one thing, and the concentration of ions. So we'll discuss about this one also. So here I have given some explanation. So example, when both the copper plus 2 ions and zinc plus 2 ions are present in the solution, then both of them will move to cathode. So both of them will come towards cathode. But copper plus 2 ion only will discharge at cathode, but not zinc plus 2 ion, because copper plus 2 ion is present below the zinc plus 2 ion in the series, in the electrochemical series. Okay, so that is the reason why copper plus 2 ions will discharge preferentially over zinc plus 2 ions. But here there is a condition, one more thing. But if the concentration of zinc ions, so if I write zinc ions in the bracket, in the square bracket, so it indicates the concentration of zinc ions. If the concentration of zinc ions is more than concentration of copper plus 2 ions, that means if the number of zinc ions are more when compared to the number of copper ions in the solution, then what happens? So then the one which is having more concentration, so here the preferential discharge of ions depends upon the concentration of ions also, not only on the position of the position, not only on its position of its position in the electrochemical series. The preferential discharge, it depends upon the concentration of ions. So that is not only on the position of the ion in the electrochemical series. So the preferential discharge of ions depends upon concentration of ions also. So in this case, suppose if the concentration of zinc ions is more than the concentration of copper plus 2 ions, so then zinc ion will discharge at cathode when compared to copper ions. So if zinc ions are more in number, then zinc ions, the ions which is present in more in number, so that those ions will undergo preferential discharge. So here what happens, if zinc ions are more in number than copper ions, so zinc ions will discharge at cathode. So even though zinc ion is placed above the copper in the electrochemical series. So that is what the discussion about preferential discharge of ions. So remember that preferential discharge of ions depends upon initially, first of all, it depends upon the position of electrodes, and after that concentration. So if concentration is more, then this is neglected, the position is neglected. Okay, if concentration of ions is more, it is neglected. If concentration is equal, then what happens? So then we have to see this one, right? Next one. So this is about the preferential discharge of ions. So these are all characteristics of electrolytes. So what happens in electrolytes? Discharge of ions takes place at the electrodes during the electrolysis process. So the ions which are present in the electrolyte, so those ions will undergo discharge at electrodes. Now, another characteristics of electrolyte is, so the products which are formed at cathode and anode, the products are formed the products are formed at cathode and anode. Where the products are formed in the electrolytes, else in the electrolytic reaction. So the products are formed at cathode and anode. Why? Because what happens? So the exchange of electrons, because exchange of electrons takes place at cathode and anode. Because of exchange of electrons, okay, takes place at a cathode and anode. At cathode, so wherever the electrons are exchanged from the ions, so at that stage, or else at that point only, the products are formed. So the products are formed at cathode, because at cathode what happens? Cation will undergo discharge. That means cathode will give electron to cation at cathode only. That is why cathode will the cation will convert into product. Product means metal ion. So cation will convert into product metal at cathode. In the same way, anion will discharge at anode. So the product from anion is formed at anode only, because at anode electrons are exchanged, and even at cathode also electrons are exchanged. So because exchange of electrons takes place at cathode and anode, okay, so the products are formed at cathode and anode only. Okay, so at no other place the products are formed. Okay, next. See, the neutral atoms of metals and hydrogen are called as, they are liberated at cathode. Neutral atoms are liberated at, neutral atoms of metal, maybe metal or hydrogen, are liberated at cathode. That is why the neutral atoms of metals or hydrogen, okay, that is why the neutral atoms of metals and hydrogen are called electropositive elements. Okay, so the neutral, hence that is why these are called as, hence the neutral atoms of metals and hydrogen are called are called electropositive elements. Electropositive elements. The elements which are liberated at cathode are said to be electropositive elements, and the elements which are liberated at anode are electronegative elements. Okay. Neutral elements, neutral atoms of non-metals, okay, are liberated at anode. Okay, neutral non-metals or else neutral atoms, neutral non-metals or neutral atoms, neutral non-metals are liberated at anode. Okay, so that is why these neutral non-metals as they are liberated at anode, any product which is liberated at anode, is called as electronegative element. Okay, so that means neutral atoms of non-metals are liberated at anode. Hence they are called as these neutral atoms of non-metals are called as electronegative elements. Electronegative elements. So one thing we have to remember, what is that? So the element, the substance which is liberated at anode, okay, it is said to be electronegative, and the substance which is liberated at cathode is said to be electropositive. Okay, right. Next step. At any stage, electrons do not migrate in the electrolyte. They do not flow through the electrolyte. At any stage, electrons do not flow through the electrolyte. Then which one will flow in the electrolyte? Ions will flow in the electrolyte. Okay, so at any stage, seventh characteristic is at any stage, electrons do not flow. The electrons do not flow through the electrolyte. At any stage, the electrons do not flow through the electrolyte. Okay. Electrolyte. Only ions will flow through the electrolyte. Only ions will flow through the electrolyte. So what are ions? Ions are nothing but charged particles. Okay. So the cathode donate electrons to cation, and anode accept electrons from anion. Okay. So because why do ions will flow? Because this cation, if cation is there, cation will move towards cathode, because cathode will donate electrons to cation. And why do anions will move? Anions will move towards anode, because anions will give electrons to anode. So that means the cathode donate electrons to cation, and anode accept electrons from anion. Okay. So that means, therefore, because of this flow of these ions, what happens in electrolyte? The flow of electric current takes place. Therefore, the flow of electric current in the electrolyte is due to what? Is due to movement of ions Okay, movement of ions, movement of cation, maybe movement of cation or movement of anion, and discharge of ions. Okay, these are the two reasons. So due to the movement of ions and discharge of ions, the flow of electric current in the electrolyte takes place. Okay, so that is why the electrolyte can act as good conductor of electricity. Okay, so these are the, so that is why, therefore electrolyte is a conductor of electricity. It is a conductor of electricity. So again, it may be good conductor or else poor conductor. It depends upon the number of ions that migrates. Okay, so these are all the characteristics of electrolytes, right? Next, we will learn about the comparison between ionization and electrolytic dissociation. What is ionization and what is electrolytic dissociation? What is the difference?